I thought I would show you a new project that I started last night. I wanted to start a really simple, big project. I wanted to make myself a crochet blanket, and it's not going to be like a full-size, king-size bed blanket or anything, but it is going to be bigger than just a lap blanket. I wanted something really colorful, really warm, and really easy to make. And I knew I didn't want to make a particular pattern like stripes, or I definitely didn't want to make motifs I had to join together. I didn't want to make stripes, didn't want to make chevrons or ripples. I didn't want to make anything granny. I wanted it to be just a rectangular blanket, so I didn't want to do like a star blanket or a circle blanket or anything like that. So I got to looking around online, just on Pinterest, for crochet stitches that I thought might work. I wanted something textured, something simple and textured, not much more difficult than double crochet. And I found this stitch, and it's called the Mini Basket Weave stitch, and it does kind of look like a basket weave there. I'm gonna try to zoom in on this a little so you can see. Anyway, it's super simple. You start with just a foundation row of double crochet, and then you alternate front post and back post double crochets, and then when you do the next row up, you're alternating again. So what had been a front post is now a back post, and so on and so forth. And as you alternate the front post and back post crochets row after row after row, you get this really cool woven effect. And it's not that dissimilar from waffle. I wanted something with kind of like an almost grid pattern, just a texture pattern, but I didn't want to do waffle. And this is working out really well. It's really simple. It's really intuitive. You don't really have to pay attention to what you're doing. Once you've done it for a few rows, you can kind of do it by feel. So that's what I wanted. I wanted something I could just sit down, maybe put my headphones on, listen to a podcast, listen to music, and just let my mind go and use my hands. So I'm coming along pretty well. Started it last night. I'm several rows in. The yarn I'm using is the Red Heart Roll With It Melange, and I'm using 2 strands held together, and I'm using 2 rainbow colorways. I'm using both the Paparazzi and the Showtime colorway, and I'm just holding 1 strand of each together. And I took a cake of each and rolled it up into a giant ball last night just to make it easier to work with, less chance of tangling. And I'm using an 8mm, just an 8mm hook, and that's working out really fine. And it's heavy enough to be warm, but it's not super heavy. It's still soft. Definitely is going to soften up once I throw it in the washer. But yeah, I really like the texture. I really like how the colors are blending together, and it's not any particular pattern. It's just textured and colorful, and that's what I wanted. So I'm gonna work on this just as I want, and as it grows, I'll show you guys updates. So not sure how big it's gonna end up being. Just gonna use all the yarn I have, and however big it is how big it's gonna be. So I'll do an update on this at some point in the not too distant future. But that's it for now.